I have my diver collection from Seiko here on the desk in front of the camera, and I would like to highlight this Nemo, this JDM made in Japan SBDY023, this Pro Specs Sunray Orange Turtle that has kind of a ridiculous nickname. It's named after a clownfish character in a Pixar movie, and this is a turtle. I don't really get a clownfish as name inspiration for a turtle, especially a really cool, affordable, professional diver here, or at least an ISO 6425 compliant dive watch. I don't get that as much, but you know what? Sometimes we just make up the silliest nicknames as Seikopaths, as watch enthusiasts, but it doesn't take away from how great this limited release is. It's limited to 500 units. It comes in a pretty decent box from Seiko. It's a lot nicer than a standard Seiko box. As far as Seiko boxes go, it's no Omega, but it's color coordinated, and we do get an included blue silicone strap that I think looks really appropriate with the overall color scheme here. So I like the box. I like the fact that this is made in Japan. I really like the fact that we have the Kanji date wheel, and there's going to be English, but there'll also be Kanji, and I set my Kanji date wheel to the language of prominence here on the Turtle. I don't know, there's something appealing about seeing Kanji on a Japanese-made, Japanese-designed dive watch. I think that's just fitting and appropriate, and I like seeing it here on mine. Now, I have it next to the Beatmaker, next to the anniversary edition of the 5KX, and next to the SLA 045 Marine Master 300. These are my current Seiko divers. They're pretty colorful, and there is something about this Sunray Orange that I just love. I'm drawn toward the bold, the loud, the proud, the off-the-beaten-path colorways. There's something about the uncommon that I seem to be drawn toward and attracted to. And this watch, this Nemo, this Turtle, takes wrist time away from other watches that, frankly cost, 5-10 times the cost or the price of this at retail. Some days I'm wearing my Seamaster and I go, ooh, you know what? I got to take this off. I'm craving that affordable, fat, cushion case with the orange, soft sunray. I need the Nemo, and I'll put on this Turtle and I'll wear this around. And then I go, okay, you know what? Tomorrow I think I'll wear my Hulk, or I'll put on the Dayfly, or I'll try the Santos. And then I go, no, I'm not quite ready. I need some more time with the Turtle. It's one of those watches that can steal wrist time away from far more expensive sport models. And certainly that can happen with almost any watch. It just seems to happen more often than not in my rotation here with this Nemo. It's a great piece. Now, I will say, and I might offend some of you here, and I guess it is what it is, but there are watches that don't have great specs. They don't have great bezel action. They don't have great screw links or an adjustable clasp or a ceramic bezel insert. Heck, even a sapphire crystal. This one is Hardlex on this Turtle. They don't have the greatest specs, but as an overall model, the sum of the model is far greater than the sum of the individual components or specifications. And it's so much more potent and powerful and attractive. There's an allure to it that I don't get with a different watch that is a spec monster, that has the screw links and has the ceramic bezel insert, that has the bezel action and the loom and the adjustable clasp, but just, might not have any soul. Like, here's where I'm going to offend some of you. I would take something like this 10 times out of 10 over a Steinhardt Ocean 1. And you might be saying, Bruce, you're just a watch snob. You're crazy. You're a tool. You're a fool. You have stupid hair. You have stupid opinions. Well, fair enough. I don't take myself too seriously. And honestly, if you feel that way, that's totally fine. But I wonder, do you think there's validity to my comments here? I think sometimes there's just watches that are great because of the design DNA, because of the form, the fit, the way it's executed. And then there are other watches that, very respectable specs, very attractive bezel action, this or that or the other. But honestly, there's no originality, or there's no soul. There's there's nothing that really speaks to it itself outside of being a spec monster, if that makes sense. And so this Nemo, I think, is one of those examples of a great watch It's a very flawed watch and carries a lot of area for improvement in various aspects. So let's touch on those real quick, and then I'll share some other thoughts as we wrap up the video. I love the drilled lugs. I love this sunray orange. This is the first time that Seiko has done sunray orange on one of their dive watches. They have decades of experience working with flat orange. In fact, they are one of the few brands that prominently and regularly do an orange dial, but this one is sunray. And it's softer. I like that. It plays with the light very well. And honestly, if you look at it, it's a little bit of a hodgepodge because we have a sunray orange dial and then a flat orange chapter ring that's a little bit reflective. And then we have a lighter, brighter hue of orange in the sloping aluminum bitone bezel insert. And it just doesn't quite match perfectly, but there is a surprising amount of cohesion here. And I like that. I like the white tone lume in natural light. Generally with LumiBrite on a Seiko, it's going to be a little bit green, a little bit like C3 from Super Luminova, but I don't think that would look as good with these specific colors. And so I like the white tone lume. I like seeing the hilted sword in the 12 o'clock marker. I love the fact that this crown, this screw down crown and this fat, ugly, awesome cushion case is not signed. I think this would be terrible if we saw the dreaded PS, the Pro Specs X there. I'm glad it's unsigned. I think that's a great move. So overall, I like the details, but there are a couple things I don't like. I don't like the widescreen Cyclops. It does aid in legibility to a degree, but it's also a little bit distracting. And my experience with Turtle has always been, at least for the most part, without a Cyclops. And the 6309 that these modern Turtles are based off of never had a Cyclops. And I really enjoy, the variety that Seiko offers, the limited editions, the special editions. I know some of you hate that. You go, yeah, that's a great model, but you know what? I'm not interested because it's limited. And I think that's a little bit funny personally. I laugh at you a little bit, but I do like the fact that there is so much choice as a consumer from this brand, from this specific platform. But going back to the negative elements, this has a ridiculous acceptable daily deviation window for accuracy on the movement, minus 35 seconds to plus 45 seconds per day, which is crazy. Really, that is that's not very good. This one that I have is running plus 6 seconds per day, which I think is great. I have no complaints about that at all. But it is luck of the draw. If you got a bad batch, a bad example from Seiko, which, let's be honest, their quality control has never been confidence inspiring, shall we say. Let's say you got a movement that was like plus 41 seconds per day, and then the next day it's, let's say, minus 29. You would be told, tough luck, that's within spec. If you want us to do anything, you're going to have to pay for it. We're not running a charity. Seiko would say that to you if you tried to have them adjust the accuracy under warranty, because it wouldn't be out of spec. So the luck of the draw, it's a little bit disconcerting. I've never had anything worse than like plus 15 seconds per day, but it could happen. So again, a little bit of a mushy bezel. We have that classic hard click, then soft click when it comes to the action here. It's classic Seiko. It's not great. We have a little bit of misalignment here with the chapter ring, the mark of an authentic Seiko, and then the bracelet, a little bit rattly, pin and tube system, pressed metal clasp. Honestly, I like it on the bracelet, but I recognize it's not a great bracelet. It's a classic Seiko bracelet. So again, a lot of area for improvement, but an overall completely awesome model that is far more enticing, has far more soul than the sum of its components would indicate. Now, I'm going to leave you with one thing here, guys. I think Seiko is very talented at working with color, working with texture, going a little bit off the traditional path and bringing to market color schemes and designs that kind of make you think. And at first, you might think are danged ugly. Like I remember seeing the Monster for the first time and thinking that was the stupidest and ugliest watch I had ever seen. And then lo and behold, a month and a half later, I couldn't wait to get one in the mail because I was so excited about the watch I had just pulled the trigger on. So really, Seiko, they can do some ugly stuff. Look at this Beatmaker. Look at this unhealthy pea yellow or a gold in conjunction with Pepsi. I know it's primary colors, but it's kind of an odd combination, but it works well and I love it. And I would love to see this color scheme done on a turtle. And heck, I'd love to see it done on a Marine Master. I would buy that in a heartbeat. I think that would be awesome. But Seiko, again, they can work with color, they can work with texture, they can work with the unordinary to a very satisfying degree. And so I'm going to give a few suggestions here for Seiko. And you might think I'm trolling, you might think I'm joking, but I'm being completely serious. Imagine a lime green sunray dial on a turtle. That would just be so dang cool, with a black aluminum bezel insert, or maybe like a deep gray, a dark gray. Oh, that would be attractive. Or a candy pink sunray dial. Not a lot of companies work in pink, but Seiko, I think they could do a great sunray pink dial. Or perhaps go into like a deep burgundy or blood red, maybe a gradient dial from black to blood to black. That would be attractive. Or lilac or purple. Branch into those other colors that you just don't see very often from almost any brand. It's not going to be a fashion watch. It's going to go over really well, I think. And make it limited, make it special, make it a regional exclusive edition. I don't care. As long as it comes out, I'm going to go track one down and buy it and enjoy it and use it and maybe flip it. You know what? I love flipping. I love being fluid. I like not having rules. And so Seiko, I hope you branch out. I'd love to see lime green. I'd love to see pink. I'd love to see blood. I'd love to see purple. I'd love to see some cool texture here in the turtle. I think you guys are talented, and it's definitely possible. So guys, I'm going to leave it here. I've rambled on for 12 minutes. If you're still here, I really appreciate you. Hopefully I didn't offend many of you that badly with the Steinhardt comments or this or that. I recognize this is very subjective. This is a very opinionated hobby, but I'm glad you're here finding something in my opinions and in my macro shots and wrist rolls and content. So thank you very much if you're here, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time.